Hello and welcome back to the Untypical Parent Podcast Bookshelf, the mini episodes where we talk about books that have either meant something to us as parents, or we've even had authors on as well talking about books that they have written that might be something interesting to the untypical parents that join and listen to the Untypical Parent Podcast. So today I have a parent join me. I have Jo join me. So Jo, welcome to the podcast. Nice to have you with us. Now, I put out a message, a post on my social media asking for people that might be interested in coming on to talk about a book that meant something to them. So it either resonated particularly for maybe an additional needs purpose or neurodivergence or SEND, or actually just because the book meant something important to that person and that parent at that moment. It doesn't always have to be tied in. Sometimes books are about a bit of escapism. It doesn't have to be tied to that. So Jo, you made a comment on the post and you were very brave and decided that you were going to come onto the podcast. And I believe this is your first podcast.
Yes. I mean, I've listened to them a few times, obviously.
Yeah.
No, I've never been on the other side.
Well, you're going to be fine. I'm going to lead you through it. We're going to look after you, but I appreciate you coming on. I know sometimes that can be a bit nerve-wracking. So you decided there was a book in particular that you wanted to talk about. Can you tell us the name of that book, Jo?
Yes, it's Passiontide.
And it's by?
Oh, it's by Monique Roffey. I think that's how you say her name.
Okay. So, Jo, tell us a bit about the story without giving it away, because we still want people to go away and read it. So don't give any, we have to keep the mystery of the book. But what's the book generally about?
Okay, and obviously stop me if I am giving it away too much, because that's
yes.
I'm a massive oversharer. So basically, the gist of the book, it's set in the Caribbean, and it's on a little island. I don't know how big the island is, actually, and it's nowadays, set in today, and it's a kind of mixture of it's very feminist. It's all about the women on the island, and this won't be a bloop if I say this, because this happens right at the start. There is a murder. And then it kind of evolves from there, and then it very much focuses on what all the women do because of the murder. That's the rough gist of it. And it's got a real political kind of side to it, a kind of protest side to it, and a feminist side to it. Not that I really read it for any of those reasons. I mean, I liked all of those, but I also loved the fact that it was based in Caribbean.
Yeah. Where did you find out about the book, Jo? How did you hear about it?
Well, actually, I'm not massively great at learning about what to read and that sort of thing.
So, yeah, me neither.
No, but I think I heard on the radio someone talking about Monique Roffey's other book called The Mermaid of the Black Conch. And that's also based in the Caribbean. And I read that one and I loved it so much. And then I read Passiontide because I think it's her latest one. I just loved her writing so much in the other one. So that's how I've heard of it.
She's got a number of books, because I did a little bit of a Google on her before we came on, and I was looking and saying she's got a number of books that she's written over the time. Yeah, so it looks like she's got quite a lot, and she's been writing for a while. But why did this book, Jo? Because when I said to you, we can choose one book. This one is the one that obviously has meant a lot to you for some reason, or has evoked something in you. Why? What was it about this book?
I mean, I don't know I can't remember what I felt when I first looked at the sort of blurby bit on the back. Mm-hmm. But I really like the fact that it's based in the Caribbean because at the moment I'm very much at home with my son, not very much able to leave the house. So I really needed a bit of escapism, and that gave me that, basically. And also at the same time, I know this is nothing to do with the book, but I'm also watching all of the series of Death in Paradise.
Yes.
So that gave me, if you like, which is a very different type of murdering type of writing, but it gave me the backdrop and that kind of lovely kind of I can see it in that TV show, and then I could read it in the book. And Monique writes in such an amazing way. And she also, what I really like about her writing is that she writes as the language is spoken. It's written in English, but every now
Yes.
and then she'll be using how someone might say a sentence, a Caribbean person will say a sentence. And I loved that because that just made you feel even more like you were there. It was even more transporting. It was brilliant.
Yeah. It's amazing, isn't it, when people write like that? Because I think I've read some books, a long, long time ago, because I don't read very many books. It's all audio for me. Is it something like Train Spotting or something like that? And it was written as if they're talking in a Scottish accent. And it really does. Someone will probably correct me. I'm probably wrong. But there's something I've read somewhere that they wrote in the accent. And I think it's like you say, it really pulls you in. You feel like you can really hear them talking.
Yes. And I'm probably terrible at making the pronunciations in my head as they should be. But I still liked having a go. And, it was just lovely, that side of it, actually.
Yeah, it's a clever way of writing that, I think.
Yeah, it really is another section that immerses you in. It's another.
Yeah.
Oh, it's brilliant, which I really wanted. I really wanted that kind of, as much of that as possible.
Yeah. It's really interesting because I think what I just wanted to pick up on, and I think there'll be a lot of parents that probably can relate to that, is you saying actually, the reason for you choosing this book actually was around a bit of escapism and being in additional needs families. I'm a bit like you in the fact that I'm at home a lot of the time because of my son's needs. When we're kind of feeling like we're stuck indoors a lot of the time, is how do you get that escapism? How do I get that? And it sounds like for you really get that through reading.
Thing is, I'm not. I think I'm quite a slow reader. I mean, my son's actually dyslexic, so I do get it through reading, but I wouldn't say it's an easy win for me, that one. I have to have the right. I can't just read a whole mix of books, and I'm not a constant reader, which is why also I was so pleased with this book. So when I saw you write on your Facebook, has anyone read a book? I thought, yeah, this book has, because I actually don't read as a hobby, as a habit. I would love to get more into it, but this book really draws you in.
Yeah. But I think you were saying, because I was talking then I think about, it giving you that escapism, but actually you were saying, a bit like probably me as well, is that reading actually can be really hard work. And I've gone very much down the audio, but I've never read really. I read bits. I've got books in the background. Sometimes people can see them, books in the background. They've been there for 3 years. Not read them. And I still buy books. There's still something I love about a book. So I like to go into a bookshop and I'll buy a book.
Yes.
I never read the flipping thing. Whereas now,
the smell of the book is quite nice sometimes.
Everything about it.
Yes.
That I love going. I could go into a bookshop and happily sit there and just kind of flick through the shelves and have a look at what was there. And I love the colours and the front covers and all that kind of. But reading it, no thanks. Just like to look at it. But I think that audio really opened up reading for me in a different way. Do you listen to audio, or do you still kind of pursue with the reading?
I'm yes, no. I think I've attempted the odd audio, and I think I get a little bit confused about what to be sort of physically doing.
Yes, I know what you mean.
I have to sort of, and if I haven't sorted that, I then can't listen to it. I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah. So
it makes complete sense.
Yes, but I can't be like just cooking because that's too noisy. Or whatever, something noisy. Yeah. So I kind of don't find that all that easy, to be honest with you, listening to audio.
Yeah. And I wonder, and I don't know about you, Jo, I'm not diagnosed ADHD, but I have a suspicion that I like the idea of sitting and reading a book. When I look at people, I feel quite jealous. They're kind of snuggled up, or they're lying on a sun lounge or wherever they are reading their book. I'm thinking, oh my God, I wish I could do that. There's not, even if I could read better, I still probably wouldn't sit still long enough. So I'm very much like you're talking about. When I listen to audio, I kind of need to do something with it. So my classic is I have to be in the car. If I'm in the car, I can listen to an audiobook.
Yes. Yes, I can relate to that. Actually, I think I'd probably be the same. But we rarely. I mean, at the moment, we just don't. I just don't use the car very much. But I can imagine. Yeah, I can imagine that would work very well.
Yeah. And sometimes I think people say they listen to them when they're walking, a bit like a podcast, I suppose. They'll listen to it as they're walking. I was trying to think what else. The other thing I do at night is I listen to them at night, but then I go to sleep.
Yes, I do. Actually, that's when I try to listen to it at night and I go to sleep. And the other thing I've realised about the listening to the audiobooks is they go very fast. And what I love about reading is, and I probably did this with Passiontide, is I can reread. I know I did it. I have to reread so many times certain sections. Sometimes, I'll read like 2 pages and I'll be going, that really hasn't gone in. So I have to go back. And that's why the book has to be really attractive and I want to read it, because otherwise I won't have the interest in going back again.
Yeah, I can really relate to that. And I think that's the energy it takes, isn't it? It's because you've read something and thought, what?
Yeah.
And it's not that you haven't understood it. It's just not, you've kind of almost read the words, but it's not in your brain. And I've missed a big chunk. And then I have to go back through it again.
Yes, no, completely. Yeah, completely.
Yeah.
That's
And I think that's why it can be so exhausting.
Yeah.
But it sounds like with this book kind of really grabbed hold of you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, what I loved about it as it grew. I mean, I wouldn't be very good at reading gory, murdery type stuff. So it's not like that. It has the murder, but it's then all about these women, and they're from very different backgrounds, and it's wonderful. And I actually wrote their names down. There's Gigi, although my husband reckons that you would pronounce that Gigi. But
okay.
I say Gigi Lala. And then there's Tara, Charlene and Daisy. And Gigi she's a prostitute, and she's very amazing at setting up things. So she set up this lovely kind of sex work collective for all the women who are doing the same work as her, and hugely just quite amazing person. And then Tara's an activist, Charlene's a journalist, and then Daisy is the wife of this prime minister. And these 4 women know of each other, but this murder brings them all together and unites them. And that's what I particularly loved. And then they all began to sort of stand up for women's rights and violence against women. And it turned into this enormous sort of slow growing protest. And that, I like protests. And I feel like I'm constantly protesting myself because of the situation with the SEND system and my child and everyone else's children.
Yeah.
So that part of it was also really great, because it's sort of like it's a tale of hope. And if you do all collaborate, even in the face of real kind of adversity, it's a very kind of male orientated kind of culture, the way it was set. And all these women were kind of like riling against it. And then all these women came from all these different groups across the island, like the sort of different churches, different religions and this and that, and different kind of like movements. And they all gradually, everybody came together from all these different areas to support all the women to sort of fight back and say, this is wrong. These women shouldn't be being murdered, basically.
Yeah. How amazing. And I love the fact as well you kind of made that link into, our SEN world, is that, a lot of us, what we're facing and the difficulties we're up against, and how actually that brings us together as a community of parents. And actually we know that there's louder and louder voices now about, we're not okay with this and this needs to change, and the kind of strength that brings.
Absolutely. And that is how you could describe the way this book kind of gradually goes, and how the protest gradually grows, and how everyone's got a very different story. Like those 4 women have got very different stories, but they all want to support the same. They've all come together for the same reason, that it's wrong that so many women are murdered, and then it's not taken as a priority.
It sounds like a great book. This is what I wanted the podcast to be about, Jo, is that every time I'm doing these now, people, I go, right, I've got another one. I've got to look this one up now and find this one. And I am slowly starting to make my way through them, which is quite amazing for me. I'm buying them as audio and I'm listening to them in the car. I have a couple of journeys during the week with my son that I have to do that are really long journeys. So this is part of my listening now in the car. And I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it. So I think this is definitely another one I need to add to my list.
Definitely. Let me know what you think. I'd love to know.
Yeah, it'd be really great. And I think when this goes out, if people have had a listen and have gone off to read the book, it'd be really great to leave some comments, or you can find it on YouTube to leave a message if you want to, or drop a message on any of my social medias. And we're going to obviously as well, we'll copy in Monique as well and let her know that we've been talking about her book. I'm sure she'll be pleased to know it's being spoken about and what it's meant to somebody. So I think all that leads me to say, really, Jo, is thank you ever so much for coming on. I think it's really lovely to, as I say, know and that was my whole reason for the podcast and these little episodes, was to try and give people ideas for new books to listen to and to read. And a bit like you and I both struggle with that, is finding that prompt of, oh, have you tried this one? Hopefully this podcast series will do that and give parents a bit of an idea, and whether that's for helping them gain some knowledge, or whether it is that escapism and just some time out away from the stresses that we're under. I think that's what my hope for these will do.
Yeah, no, it's been a real pleasure. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're really welcome. Thank you for coming on, Jo.
Thank you. Take care.
I've learnt a lot since starting my own podcast, mostly by getting things wrong first. There was even a point where I nearly didn't have a podcast at all, until, like most things in my life, I found a way to make it fit my brain and my life. Turns out the typical podcasting advice doesn't fit everyone. Who knew? That's exactly why I created the Untypical Podcaster Lab. It's for people who know they want to start a podcast, but need a way that works for them, not somebody else. I'll guide you from your first brainwave to your first published episode, one step at a time, in just 2 weeks. If that sounds like something you've been looking for, you'll find all the details in the show notes. I'd absolutely love to help you get your podcast out into the world. Take care, and I'll see you soon.